Howdy, good gracious family, and welcome to the Switchyards Downtown Club in Atlanta, Georgia. Tonight you'll meet Annabette, Vellines, Andrea, Colburn, and Moseley, Village Theater, Comedy Improv, Just Bakery ATL, Jason Collier, BlackCatTips, Nashville's own Minton Sparks, baritone guitarist Alex Gordon, and me, your host, Boyd Baker. Tonight's show is supported by Realtor Cynthia Bayer, your in-town Atlanta real estate specialist in the Switchyards Downtown Club, where co-working and business-to-consumer products are made with soul. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Alex, well done. Everybody isn't Alex. Wonderful. He's very special. And he's available for parties, too, if you didn't know that. So he's got a special gift. He'll just sit in the corner, and he'll just play relaxing music all night long. You don't have to worry about the stereo going out. Everybody just has a good time. And then when your neighbors or your guests, they decide they don't want to leave, well, he can help with that, too. Can't you, Alex? Why don't you play a little dinner music?
I was.
So imagine, you've been working all day. You got up, you cleaned, you cooked, you look gorgeous, you had a beautiful party, nobody fought, nobody died, police weren't called. But it's getting late, and all you can think of is that disaster that's your kitchen and how you really want to be in your bathrobe and slippers, not making small talk with anyone. That's when you just look over at Alex and you give him the nod. You turn the lights up a bit, a little brighter. You don't have to say anything. For the next 15 minutes, this song will play on loop. And everybody knows this song. It's in your bones. You may not know the words, but your guests will start to hum a little. They might even start to sing the words. Does anybody know the words? Before you know it, they'll say, I hope you don't mind, but I've got an early day tomorrow. I really do need to leave. And you'll say, oh, that's too bad. But you'll walk them to the door, hand them their hat, smile, and you're the hostess with the mostest. And all because of one guy and a guitar. That's Alex Gordon. Good job. Oh, he does that so beautifully, so beautifully. So, how many folks are new tonight who's never been here? Whoa! Even the performers, look at that. Is it, show of hands, is it because you knew somebody who's in the performance? Yeah, we got a few of that. Okay. Or some of you maybe heard it on the radio. I heard Mira's Music Mix gave us a little shout out, which was wonderful on Friday. So, well, we're glad you came either way. It's a very special night. I like to think of it as family, and we make the artists sit out and they have to watch most of the time because it makes it more connected, right? And the performers tonight, they remind me how words matter. Words connect us. I do. I love you. It's a girl. He's okay. You may need to bring bail money. But words tell stories. They make us human. And in the South, we have a history of very creative gab, right? Southerners are known for their phrasings that most of the world doesn't understand. You'll hear folks say, "What do you have, hun?" Or, "Bless your heart." Howdy, y'all, and even good gracious. And these words, they don't necessarily mean one thing, if you think about it. A lot of times, they're kind of amorphous. They don't exclude. They can have multiple meanings, but all of those meanings kind of reflect back on what I believe the South to be, is very gracious, very inviting. We also have a huge history of wordsmiths. You think about Mark Twain, Margaret Mitchell, Johnny Mercer, I got Johnny Mercer in there for you, buddy. Alice Walker, Martin Luther King Jr. I mean, these people's words have literally gotten into the fabric of our culture and inspired and entertained millions around the world. And writers, as well as songwriters, work really hard at this craft because they know how much the words matter. They'll spend hours, days, weeks sometimes trying to get it just right, in part because they know maybe they won't be able to be there to present it to someone. At other times, and songwriters have a little bit of a gift here, that they get to perform, so they can make sure the intent's very clear. And so that music has meaning because the words matter. I heard a story this past week on the radio about an actor who likens his iPod to his diary. I don't know if anybody heard that, but it was rather interesting that he said if it's special to him because it takes him back to a place or a time or a person or an event, each of those songs. And so if someone asks, oh, what do you listen to on your iPod? It's as if someone asked him, what did you write in your diary today? Or if they said, hey, let me hold your iPod, it's like you asked him to give his diary to you. It was very intimate. But it's because those words, they do matter. And they can just get down deep in your bones. A friend of mine, James Casto, runs a program, a music songwriter series out in Alpharetta called Home by Dark. Has anybody heard of it? You ought to check it out. It's really special. And his tagline to the event that he does is, a song can change your life. And that's what he believes, and that's why he connects songwriters to people. And I agree with him. But then a poem can, a great speech, a terrific book, they can all change your life. Tonight you're going to hear a lot of words, a lot more than what you just heard. You didn't play me out. I was glad. Thank you for not doing that, you know? I thought about it. I know you did.
I wanted to preface that.
Yeah.
I know that's going to happen. Boy, it runs too long. We all got to join it.
There you go. It's time. There you go. Goodbye. All right. Well, I hope tonight some of the words you hear change your life. All right? So our first performer tonight is the wonderful Annabette Vellines.
Is it good? Okay. Hey y'all, I'm Annabette Vellines, and I am a political activist. And I was invited here to share my story with you about how I got into political activism at such a young age. My main focus in my journey of activism has been gun control and gun reform. I vividly remember the day after the mass shooting in Parkland. I remember getting ready, and I just really did not want to go to school. I didn't want to go to high school. I was afraid, and I just didn't want to go. But I pulled myself together, and I went. And I remember the atmosphere being so tense. And I mean, it's a high school. It's going to be tense, but it was beyond tense. And everyone either wanted to talk about it and cry about it, or nobody wanted to say a word about it because it was just too hard to think about at school. I remember going into my AP Gov class, AP Government, and I just thought, okay, well, of course we're going to have to talk about it there because it's AP Government. And, we did end up talking about it, and everyone shared their opinion on the issue, but everyone, which I thought was really wonderful, everyone shared this one common emotion of anger and fear. Everybody in that room. Then my teacher said something that just really blew me into action. He said, look, I want you to know that if something were to happen, I would take a bullet for any one of you. I want you to know that I would be your human shield. And I just kind of broke down, because I love my teacher, but I mean, he doesn't get paid for that. And he barely gets paid for teaching. He doesn't get paid for that. And like, it's just horrific to think that I could have his body motionless on top of mine, and he saved me and he died. So I went home that day and I watched some of the news. I read the clips. I watched the clips of the shooting happen that the kids reported, and I was devastated. And I just kept thinking, and I said this to my family and I said this to my friends. I'm just like, I just don't understand how this could happen again. I don't get it. How many kids need to die? How many children have to die before somebody does something to stop it? How many people need to die? It just blew my mind. I just didn't understand it. And then I read more about it, and I came to the realization that as long as the NRA funds these people who are in charge of our country, there is no limit to how many kids die. And all of the kids could die, and they would still be getting the money from the NRA, and something would still not be happening. So I made it my personal mission. I made a vow to myself that I would do everything in my power as a student and as a human being to make sure this never happens again. So I rallied. We heard about the walkout on March 14th, and I got together with a couple of friends and student leaders at school, and we organized the walkout for our school. We organized speakers. We had poster making. Our administration, thankfully, was super on board and helpful, and that was really great. And I went to the Georgia Capitol, and I gave a speech on the steps, and I was interviewed by some news people, and I just was really, really just changed. I just felt this fire in me that I was going to get this to happen. I was going to help these people, just make sure this never happens. My one main goal in this movement is making sure that it's not a partisan issue, because the last thing we need right now is for people to be butting heads on this issue, because it is so prevalent and it is so devastating to every single person. A school shooting affects every single person in this country, because you either have a kid that goes to school, you're a teacher, you know somebody that's in a school environment. It affects everyone, which means that we all have a duty to protect our people and our faculty and our students who are in school. So that's been my main focus. I've also been a huge advocate for the legislation that needs to happen, that I believe needs to happen. So ban on military-grade assault weapons, raising the legal age to buy a gun to at least 21, universal background check, just crack down on school safety, just common sense gun laws, really. So I organized a town hall meeting with Representative Hank Johnson and State Senator Steve Henson, because I live in the district that they represent. And we sat down, I mediated, and we just got down and we talked about the real issues. And I think stuff like that needs to happen so that we can all become aware that we have a voice, we have a say in this country, because we are a democracy. I know that we are a representative democracy, and that gets a little tricky. But we are a democracy nonetheless, and I think that we just all need to understand that we have a duty to protect the people who are in school and just the general public, because this isn't just school shootings. This is just gun violence. And too many people have been gunned down, and too many people have gotten away with it. Moving forward in the movement, I really want to do a lot of community outreach. I really want to make sure that every human being that wants to be involved in this movement has the opportunity and can be involved in this movement and can be a leader.
Thank you, Annabette. for coming out tonight. I feel this. Yeah, I should be able to work the microphone. Sorry about that. Yeah, well, but this was an important issue, and I feel like especially as we run into the summer, a lot of people don't realize that it's not going away for a lot of folks. So if you can keep the conversation going, whichever side you stand on, that's fine, because that will improve how we try to get along down the line. So thank you again, Annabette. All right. Now, right now, we got a couple of guys who are going to come down. They're from the Village Theater down on DeKalb Avenue, if you know that little stretch where you come into downtown. They've got a wonderful improv theater down there, and they are doing magnificent, funny stuff. So please welcome Ben and Eric.
Hey, everybody. Oh, give me one more round of applause for Annabette.
And you guys are definitely ready to laugh now.
So we're going to do some improvised comedy. All we need is a one-word suggestion. We're just going to get into
Catfish.
Is it one?
Catfish.
All right, yeah, catfish it is.
Yeah, so you look a lot different than your Tinder profile. I also didn't expect for you to come out from under the table.
Yeah, that's where I live.
That's you live
Under the table, yeah.
at this Chili's.
I
Do you work here or do you just live here?
do. No, I don't work here. This is just where I live. The rent isn't too bad, and I also enjoy a good onion or two. What is the Awesome Blossom? No, that's the other place.
No, you got it right. That's Bloom and Onion it out.
Yeah, that's I get those two mixed up sometimes.
Is your name even Gerald?
No, absolutely not. My name is Jeff. Still a J sound at the beginning. I spell it with a G. Geoff.
Oh, I'm glad you spelled it out because for a second I thought it was just Geff and I would have had to leave. The other signs have not turned me off from this date.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a reason I catfished you here. Like they say, I'm real lonely. I live under a table at a Chili's. But I'm like any regular guy. I'm looking for love. And I saw your profile, and I thought you was special. And then we had so many interesting talks and messages.
Yeah.
Instant messages.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if you even play tennis anymore. We talked a lot about tennis.
We did, and most of it I was Googling as we was instant messaging. I'm not 100% sure who John McEnroe is, but you talked about him a lot. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna Google image him. And he hails a lot. So that's why when we was on the phone, I would increase my volume.
Yeah, I had to turn down my volume a lot to speak with you on.
It interrupted a lot of the people that was at the other tables. on account of me being under this one. Sometimes there was a very nice couple, and they was getting strawberry daiquiris, and they did not like the onion. So what they did have was the queso dip, with the spinach queso dip, and the strawberry daiquiris. And I was getting very loud under the table because I thought that you had liked that.
Yeah, I didn't like that, but I just thought it was something with your phone. I also thought you were 6'2" and made of muscle, but look very wiry and for some reason oily.
Yeah, I'm part troll. is the thing. So that's why the hunch. So yeah, maybe if I was stretched out, and maybe because I can only get my hands so high, but with the hand up, maybe 6'2". Maybe 6'2".
Is it a rule that you have to live under something as a troll?
Because I'm part troll, I have to live under something.
Was
It's either it's a bridge, or also you can also ask riddles 3. It's definitely something.
Was your mom a troll, or are you just half trolled by association?
No, I would be full troll if my mom was a troll.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's similar to Judaism.
Yeah, that's what I was
If your mom is troll, you is full troll. My daddy is troll.
You're just more cultural.
Yup. That's right. I didn't go to.
I was a little worried we would have to have a troll wedding, and that started scaring me.
No, we was not. See, that's the thing is I'm not Orthodox troll.
Thank goodness.
Oh my gosh, I went to some non-troll churches when I was growing up. My parents were very liberal.
Oh, really?
Yep.
You know, one day I think, actually, I might want to meet your parents now.
Really, that would be great.
You've sort of won me over.
You know,
You are really oily.
Counted the half troll. So yeah. But we don't have to. Well, I mean, if we.
Do you just want to get out of here? You can come back to my place. It's a real apartment.
Do you have something that maybe I could be under? Like, you have like.
Yeah, I've got a bed, a table,
Ooh.
a really tall ottoman.
Okay. Quick question. As far as the bedroom situation, your bed, is it like right up against the floor, or does it have like some rises? So maybe there would be some opportunity for me to be under that.
There's risers.
Oh, that's great.
Let's get out of here.
Let's do that.
And scene. Thank you so much.
You'll see him again later. He'll come back. I want to introduce you right now to performers Andrea Colburn and Mud Moseley. I'm going to let them entertain you. I'm going to get out of the way.
Hey y'all. Came to play you some of our songs. Oh, that's better. Thank you. I don't know how we're gonna follow that catfish date. Here's a song called Bones. Am I on?
I've got bones in the kitchen, there's bones in the sink, but
me up a funeral pyre, and then I'll gather more bones from those who have tried. And when they come around looking for their bones, they won't be satisfied. I got a fire burning deep down low. There's a fire burning up inside, and at the bottom is a pile of bones to keep me satisfied. I think we're going to play you one more. Boyd says make sure you end with a happier one, right? He knows us very well. We reached for you. We found one. Both of these songs are on our new CD that just came out last month. Easy, Sleazy, and Greasy. Andrea, Colburn, and Moseley. We got it right over this table over here if you want to check it out. Highly recommended. We're going to play you Shirley. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Oh, good times, good times. Thank you. You good? There we go. Thank you, ma'am. Another hand for the wonderful Andrea Colburn and Mud Moseley. You know, I didn't get into talking to them too much, but I was lucky enough to do a podcast with them and learned all about Mud's real name being Kyle. But because of his artistic endeavors, can I say that? Artistic endeavors? As a potter, he got the name Mud. So it works well on stage. And the one thing that you didn't see tonight that could possibly pop up around, we don't know, is that Andrea plays the saw as well. So I know you haven't seen that lately, unless you're a theremin player, and then you're close enough. It's in the ballpark. So anyway, our next guest tonight is a wonderful person that I met recently named Leah Lonsbury. Please come up, Leah. Invite her family. Be nice. So Leah is with Just Bakery Atlanta. Does anybody know about that? Some of you folks? There's a few. We see some friends here.
It's my family.
That's the family. So makes it easy. So come on in here. Let's get snuggly. There you go.
Right.
So I want you to tell me why Just Bakery Atlanta first. Why?
Why?
Yeah. And then we'll talk about what.
Big question. Okay. So Atlanta is a huge center for resettled refugees, based mostly in the Clarkston, Stone Mountain area. And a good friend works for the International Rescue Committee that does a lot of that resettlement and post-resettlement services. And through him, I got to know a little bit more about what the resettlement process entails. And long-term success, lots of times, all the times, depends on somebody's ability to get a job that can pay the bills and provide security for their family. And because so many of our resettled friends come with an interrupted education, or their education isn't honored here, or we don't honor their work experience in lots of different ways, the biggest hole in the long-term resettlement process is continuing education and professional degrees and certification. And so we can fill that gap in one creative way for a few people, and it's growing.
So now what is Just Bakery that allows you to do that?
Just Bakery is a nonprofit bakery that partners with our refugee neighbors to do paid job training, professional certification in bakery and retail, and we pay a living wage. And our folks are going to get a new adventure soon as we open a storefront. So they're going to get a different kind of training and a different kind of experience and a interface with the public that they've not had before. And one of our goals is to build long-term, diverse, sustainable community for everyone. And that's going to give us a bigger playing field, a bigger chance to do that.
How has that been when you have refugees coming in and trying to create a bakery that sells goods to the public as far as their knowledge of the American taste compared to maybe what they're used to in their countries?
So they don't love chocolate as much as I do.
Only because they haven't had it as much as we have.
And so, for example, we have Bhima, who came to us from Nepal originally, and so we make one of her recipes called Jira biscuits, and they're a cumin shortbread cookie. And most of the public, as you might be aware, would be very wary of that. So we've doubled the sugar in the recipe, and still not every American that we meet is wild
is
about
used
that.
to a savory cookie.
Right,
That's just not in our DNA.
Yeah.
But others, have they had a good transition as far as being refugee bakers and bringing their culture to it? Has it been? They obviously give you recipes, but do they have trouble accepting how you say, look, sorry, this is what a loaf of bread looks like here.
No, I mean, they're remarkably resilient, flexible, remarkable, hilarious, smart, kind-hearted
Humans, they're great.
human beings.
Yeah.
So they can handle whatever you throw at them. And food is the language that everyone speaks, and so is humor, and both of those things are a big part of what we're up to in the kitchen. So,
And so if there's any way that anybody here can help spread the word or build the process, because you've only been at it for 6 months. So this is
Right.
amazing that you've got a bakery facility and you're bringing in different cultures who, I'm guessing language can be an issue too. Is it?
no, because everybody speaks food.
Everybody speaks food. Okay.
No,
So,
it can't be. It can't be.
yeah, but,
Text message is a good way to communicate because there's always Google Translate and
yeah, that's smart. Computers come in handy.
yeah,
And words
absolutely.
matter.
Right,
See, right
Words
there.
matter,
There you
yeah.
go. So,
Well, I invited them here tonight, and this is where face-to-face would have been good with our bakers because they were like, variety show?
yeah, they don't know what that is.
That didn't translate.
Well, most
Text
Americans don't know what it
message.
is either, so
Next
that's
time.
all right.
Next time, right.
You know, somebody told me the other day, they go, you're trying to bring back the variety show, you're trying to bring back hats, and now you want to get,
That's
you
a
know,
big
like,
job.
country.
It's a
I
lot
know,
of
it's a lot,
things.
it's a lot of stuff.
All the things,
But
yeah.
if anybody could help out, what would be the main things that could really help Bakery Atlanta from like a good, gracious family thing? Is it locations that need bread? Is it something else?
So come see us at the Oakhurst Market, where we've gone in, we're doing deliveries Thursdays and Saturdays, and in May we'll pick up Tuesdays. So come buy our goods, because your purchase is gonna please your belly and your heart, and it's also gonna allow us to do what we do, and that keeps us rolling. We're looking for a delivery vehicle, so if you have a lead on a vehicle that can move both people and goods, point me in that direction, please. And we think we have narrowed down a retail space that would be a good fit for us. So we need money like every nonprofit, right? And we need people to spread the word about our baked goods, and everybody wins when you buy our stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
call,
all right.
Call me. We do special orders.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming out
Yeah.
tonight,
Thanks for
Leah. And
having me.
Just Bakery, you can find information on a website about all their good work, and hopefully we see them around soon. Our next performer is Jason Collier, and I'm going to just let him come on out here. Jason plays around town as an amazing sideman for a lot of folks. And he also performs and writes his own music. And then he also is a student of music and has done some work at Georgia State. It's got to be up here because, as you can tell, Jason's a little taller than me. He's done some amazing work with Johnny Mercer's archives. Those of you who may or may not know, who knows Johnny Mercer? There's a few. Do you know Johnny Mercer? I know. So what's the most famous Johnny Mercer song that anybody can name?
Dreamer.
Dreamer? Dream. Play
Yes, I
it.
love you.
Play it.
I choose not to.
He chooses not to. Swinging on a Star, right? Johnny Mercer? Swinging on a Star.
I wrote a number of popular songs.
Oh yeah, an amazing guy. And this guy got lucky enough through your work, right, to be able to take some of his unfinished works, unpublished, and just change it and make it all Jason Collier. No? You got to bring him to life though, right?
Yeah.
Well, come on up here, step up. Now you got to do that, but you also did that with some other folks, right?
Yeah, with the Georgia State Jazz Ensemble.
And did you, I thought I'd see, was Joe?
Joe Granston,
Joe's part of that too?
Francine Reed, yeah.
And Francine, and so you got those people to come out and play the work that last time we talked,
Yeah.
you were like, oh, I got to get this work done on Johnny Mercer, and I don't know how I'm going to get it all done, but it came together.
Yeah, came together. It went well. I think so, at least I don't know, like.
Yeah, for you it
understanding
came, yeah.
Reviews or critics or.
Nobody booed. We call that a victory. All right, I'm going to let Jason do his thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Tonight we're going to perform some original tunes that I wrote. I consider myself a songwriter and a trumpet player, so tonight I'm gonna hang out with you guys and sing some original tunes. Hope you enjoy it. Sorry, I gotta play some notes. I'm kind of cold here. It's gonna be kind of funny when I say love and I see your face. It's gonna be so cold in my warm soft bed without you to hold. It's gonna be a long night with no kisses from you. Since you left, it's been raining, oh, pouring down. Where is the sun? Is it hiding behind that little smile that used to brighten up my day? Or is it shining on another lover to let him know we'll be okay? Is your love beaming so warm everywhere except for on me? Since you left, it's been raining, oh, pouring down. Where is the sun? Now every living thing needs the water to grow. No matter how harsh the April showers, every fragile flower knows that they need the love of the sun to see another spring, to build them up and make them strong again. Where is the sun? Lover, bring back the sun. Yeah, 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 yeah. Lover, bring back the sun again. Hey, 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 hey. Lover, bring back the sun. Lover, bring back the sun again. Lover, bring back the sun. Thank you very much. That song was entitled Lover Bring Back the Sun. And this song I'm about to perform now is called The Grind. Yeah, the title pretty much says it all. I quit my day job and went back to grad school and did some more music stuff, and It's called The Grind, you know, like pursuing the ultimate dream, yeah. The grind. Here we go. You ready? You guys can clap too if you want. Talking about the grind. Ooh, hey, hey, hey. Here we go. Seems like the climate is fierce, remnants of warmth gone. Folks working 9 to 5 plus 3 more to make it through. Hey, they'll tell you work hard and watch all your dreams come true and pay for them greens that don't mean nothing. It's so hard to rise above and reach new heights when your hair is gone and you can't breathe. Don't let the grind make you blind to the dreams right in front of your eyes that you're too tired to see. Don't let the grind make you blind to the dreams that you have, but no time to make reality. Don't let the grind make you blind. We're talking about that grind. Yeah, that's the chorus. You guys can help me out. We're talking about that grind. Everyone's talking about dreams if you make them come true. This idea of security is so vague, many times misconstrued. And just look inside, realize your soul's destiny. Your greatest song starts with your heartbeat. And just take the leap of faith towards your soul's journey. It's the only thing in this life that's free. Don't let the grind make you blind to the things right in front of your eyes, but you're too tired to see. Don't let the grind make you blind to the dreams that you have, but no time to make reality. Don't let the grind make you blind. We're talking about that grind. Yeah, you guys sound good. You can sing louder. Come on, one more time. We're talking about that grind. Yeah. Till you work hard and watch all your dreams come true and pay for degrees that don't mean nothing. It's so hard to rise above and reach new heights when your hair is gone and you can't breathe. Don't let the grind make you blind to the dreams right in front of your eyes, but you're too tired to see. Don't let the grind make you blind to the dreams that you have, but no time to make reality. Don't let the grind make you blind. We're talking about that grind. We're talking about that grind. Thank you very much. Thank you. How about a hand for Miles Brown? Thank you guys so much. If you like the music, you can check out my website or just Google Jason Collier Music Project. And I have my old EP, Sentiments of a Hopeless Romantic, that was out in 2014, and my newer one, The Grind, is out too. So please check it out, and thank you again. Thank you.
Just bring it a little bit, because Kyle's pretty big. Oh, thank you again for Jason. And I'm Miles. I don't know why. My mind. Wonderful, wonderful performance there. Very talented individuals. So, some people ask, how do you find these people? I mean, the thing I keep trying to tell folks, and I do it through the live show and through the podcast, is this talent is walking beside you every day in the city of Atlanta. All right? There are amazing people doing amazing things. They're doing things to improve the community. They are writing music. They are writing books. They are just incredible. So it's buoying that Southern, that spirit, that creative spirit, right? There's something to be said about that, right? People should respect us more, right, Alex?
I'm from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, so you get the Yankee who's a transplant, but, you don't see him going back to Pennsylvania in winter, do you now? It's February, he's not there. Yeah, you can get rid of that. I got the mic, buddy. All right. Yeah, okay. I get it. You don't want to get on the bad side of the guy who's your house band, so I'll try to do a better job. So our next guest this evening is a street folk artist, a man of mystery, a talented individual named BlackCatTips. Anybody ever see some of his work around town? He's a muralist. He makes these little bears. He does really incredible stuff. And I thought it'd be great for people to hear from an artist what it's like to be an artist. Come on out, Cole. Come on out. He pretends to be Southern, but don't let him fool you, okay?
What'd you say?
I said you pretend to be Southern, but don't let that fool you.
It's all an act.
It is all an act. That's what he says every time. Well, do you remember the first time we met?
At the Wendy's drive-thru?
It wasn't at the Wendy's drive-thru. It was actually at your studio because we did a podcast. I don't know if you remember.
That's right. That's right.
You remember that?
I had the brushes and you had the microphone.
I had the microphone. You had the brushes, and you had that second apartment. It was a rather creative studio process.
That's where Wendy lived.
That's where the Wendy comes in. Every time he gets me, no?
That's just where I painted.
That's just it.
I lived in one and painted in the other.
So you never know. You could be living in that apartment right next to an amazing artist that is just blowing up in Atlanta. I feel like I should let you just talk. Should I get out of the way?
Why don't you just... Well, let me just talk.
Well, step on up here.
All right,
I get out of the way.
I'll take my hat off out of respect for all y'all. All right, now, my name is Kyle Brooks, and my middle name is BlackCatTips, and my whole name is Kyle BlackCatTips Brooks, and you may think that I'm a Native American, but I'm not. But my wife does like to chew gum. My wife really likes to chew gum. I can buy a pack of gum and it can last me 2 or 3 weeks. It just depends on how minty fresh I want to be. My wife can go through a pack of gum in 2 or 3 hours. One time I rode down there to New Orleans on a bus. And a man sat beside me the whole way, and for 12 hours he chewed on the same stick of gum. My wife doesn't chew gum like that. The other night, I was asleep in my bed, and I heard a noise. I rolled over and I said, "Hey, are you chewing gum in bed?" She said, "Yes." I thought that I had discovered a new sort of animal. I opened the door to my truck, and I thought that there was a robot rabbit living in there. You see, in the console with a little indentation in the handle, it was full of little silver balls. Maybe like a robot rabbit had gone to the bathroom. But it was just little rolled up balls of gum my wife had left for me. I have a security camera on our new house. I call it a paranoia camera, because at night it tells me there's people behind the house, and that makes me upset. I imagine there's a goblin or maybe the werewolf man behind my house. But usually there's nothing back there beside an old black cat. He walks through at night and wanders around, and I see him on the camera. And one thing he likes to do is roll around on his back. That's what he does. The other night, we had a new baby, and we get up in the night with the baby, and I saw the black cat while we were up, so I tapped on the glass, and that cat ran down the driveway, took a sharp right, and went right down the road to the next house. When he got back, I imagined there was another black cat there, and the other black cat said, "Hey, did you bring me a piece of tasty fish?" He said, "Nah, I just went down there and rolled around on my back." I paint pictures for a living, if you can't tell. Sometimes I paint murals. I painted one recently right down here near the bus station. And when you spend many days outside on the sidewalk near the bus station, you see a lot of interesting folks. And they say a lot of interesting things. One man walked up to me one day when I was painting and said, "Shabba horse on, pay my bill." I said, "Who?" He said, "Shabba horse on, pay my bill." I said, "No, sir, I gotta work. Can you come back later?" He came back later. When I listened to him, he said, "Can you paint my belt?" I said, "Okay, let's paint your belt." So he took off his belt, he stretched it out on the ground. I got out a gallon of white house paint and we painted his belt. Then I said, "Let's hang it up in the tree. It needs to dry." So it looked like an old white snake, but we hung it up in the tree. Then all of a sudden this man said, "I got to go, I got somewhere to be." Okay, so we put the belt in a sack, and he left. Later, I was concerned about the quality of the paint job on the belt. The next day, he showed up again and rode his bicycle by and smiled, and I saw his shiny white belt. Now, one more thing, you see. About 2 years ago, for Thanksgiving, me and my family went down to the beach. It was the perfect vacation until one day in. Then a bed bug showed up, and it was not the perfect vacation. I was sad. The next day, a mouse showed up. At that point, my mother-in-law called the exterminator. They sent out a man with a crazy eye He said, "Those mice are extinct." I said, "What?" He said, "Those mice are extinct." I said, "But we just saw him." I was feeling mighty down, so I thought if I painted something, perhaps that would lift my spirits. We found an old board by the road, and we brought it down to the beach. Luckily, I had packed my paints. I painted on the beach, and I made a big old sign that said, "Fresh pelican meat," with an arrow this way. I figured that perhaps I could compete with a turkey, being Thanksgiving and all. Oddly enough, I don't eat meat, so that wasn't a good idea. We took the painted sign down by the beach where the water is and the people go left to right and right to left, and nobody would look at me or my pelican meat sign. Nobody wanted any pelican meat. After that, I took the sign and I put it in front of a buffet restaurant that was closed for the season. On a final note, to end my vacation, when we rolled away, we stopped at the dumpster, and I threw all of my bed bugs and luggage right on in. Goodbye.
Kyle Brooks, Black Cat Tips, amazing, amazing work. Look him up online, Black Cat Tips, and his art is beautiful too. He's painting sunshine on the world. That's a good thing. So our next act is going to be a return of the wonderful guys from Village Theater. Come on down, Ben and Eric. Woo-woo!
Taken away.
So we're going to do some what are called short form games, and we're actually going to need 2 volunteers to come up here with us. So if you're feeling brave, feeling like you want to join in on the action,
Don't be shy.
not
Anybody at all?
scary at all, I promise. We just need 2 volunteers. You're really going to get to direct this scene.
We're gonna give you free tickets to our show at the Village Theater.
Free tickets
for
to
coming
our
up.
show. This
We're
is
gonna
not
start
an act,
assigning.
it's just
Oh, we got
really
one.
fun.
Yeah. 2.
All right. So this. No. Oh. No. You already got all the way up. You're here. We just need one more.
Yeah.
So this game is called.
Come on, Melissa.
I like the aggressiveness.
So who do we have here? We have. Oh, your name, please. Melissa. And Andrea, who's already been up here. Melissa and Andrea are going to be controlling all of our body movements. This game is called Statues.
Yeah. So if they want Ben to move his arm, then they'll just move his arm like this. If they need him to walk forward, they'll do that. And if they need to move him down, however, whatever they want to do, they're going to manipulate the bodies here.
We just need a suggestion of what Eric and I are building. What are we building? Anything.
A bike.
A bike.
A bike. That's
A
perfect.
bike. Okay.
You're good at this.
That's a good one. Vans Club too.
Right? There you
All
go.
right. So Eric and I are building a bike.
And our body movements are being controlled by our helpers here.
Awesome. Let's get started.
Yep, here we go. Yep. Oh yeah,
Yeah. I need you.
I don't see so well with my right eye, so I'm gonna get in there real good with my left one.
I really love how we're building a penny farthing, and that first wheel's way bigger than this wheel. Hey,
Yep.
hey,
Yep.
Darren, could you pass me that socket wrench?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
It's
Yep.
right by your foot.
Nope. Yep. I got it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna give it to you.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
I'm just gonna screw on this
I'm gonna
little tiny
present.
wheel.
Yep. I like to present you with things with a flourish.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah, presenting. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I'm a big Florida fan.
Look, I told you, you should have been on Price is Right.
Yep.
You were so good at presenting.
Yeah, I'm gonna, hang on a second, I'm kind of tired. Nope, yep, standing up now. What? Yeah, that's a good, this is gonna be an awesome bike. I'm so glad your son, hold on.
Look,
I picked up some real stuff.
I kind of look like this. Oh, not anymore. Let me hook my socket wrench through that real quick.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I'll take.
So, is it a bike yet? I think it's a bike.
We're almost there. We're almost there. We've got 2 wheels.
My back feels great.
Look, I told you to take some ibuprofen.
I'll take some now.
I thought a socket wrench would do it instead.
Yeah, my socket wrench didn't work. Maybe I'll get some ibuprofen now.
Yeah, and
I think I was planning on getting some ibuprofen. And yeah.
Oh, I have some in my pocket.
Oh,
Here
do
you
you?
go.
I'm gonna take some of that with my mouth.
Oh, you know how much I love feeding you like a horse?
Yeah. I'm gonna good. I'm not gonna drink any water. I'm just gonna swallow it raw. It's just gonna be dry. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
breathing already? Is it stuck?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I was ready to give you the
I thought I was gonna have whiplash, but not so much.
I was.
Thank you for the ibuprofen.
You're so
I'm so glad you had that.
Look, at this rate, the spike's never gonna be finished.
But I feel like it's I'm in a dancing mood apparently. So I'm just gonna strike a pose. And we're slightly closer to you slowly.
Look, I'm voguing.
Yeah. That's good music. And now,
I didn't know you felt this way about me.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Our next guest is not being haunted by the police. It is Minton Sparks from Nashville, Tennessee. Please welcome her to the stage.
Let's go. All right. Entertaining. All right. Is this a little high? All right. I'm so happy to be here. What a show tonight. What about it? Woo! Your name's Alex, right?
That's right.
I've got Alex over here. How about Alex entertain us too? I mean, that's so. Yeah. Anyway, so I like to talk about Southern women. I talk about the women in my family, and all of us mostly come from 2 jobs. If you're a woman in my family, you're either a school bus driver, you know, we're a lot of those, or lunch ladies, you know, and a lot of us were lunch ladies that had sort of the lot going on behind the arm. Anyway, and it wasn't, but it was until my cousin came. We were trying to break through that glass ceiling. You know, women had been trying to bust it, and we couldn't with those jobs. But my cousin, who was about 6 foot tall, and she played volleyball for Memphis State, she finally figured out the job that could just knock a hole in it, and it was gold digging. And this is Gold Digger. See her dark tan, those double D implants, the sharp tip of her high heel, it's a drill bit. She's digging down in Dallas for Texas tea, 'cause she's a gold digger looking for a sugar daddy. Her papa put penthouse parameters around what's pretty early and often. Splay-leg women laid back laughing, lipstick thick enough to paint the town square. Don't you dare touch that dial while the Miss America pageant's on. Or my Playboys stacked neatly above the dryer. She's gold digging, looking for a sugar daddy. Now I tell you this, girls learn to rummage through the ruins, stand stoic in a field, like a stacked stone chimney, long after he'll burn the house down around you. They're gold digging, looking for a sweeter daddy. She got sick of pot and pan handling, trying to make ends meet, mining candy bar wrappers from a Chrysler back seat. Gold digging, looking for sugar daddies. Truth is, a Rolex and that houseboat, along with the full-length fur coat, won't bring young and yesterday back again. Go on and sing for your supper, child, but please don't barter body for bread. Now, nip tuck, don't phase her. Silk tie, blue blazer, sidewalks in Dallas, some rich man's palace. Gold digging, born on a bayou, born on a bayou. These boots are made for walking. I don't know about you, but any of you come from families where the women in your family carried their purse around as if that little red button that was going to blow up the world was in there? I think that's kind of the thing that sews Southern women's culture together. And if I was going to run for office, and believe you me, I'm not, but I would have a little talisman with me all the time, and it would be a pocketbook, because it's the thing that I feel like could sew this torn country back together. This is her purse. The church crouches in the crook of dead man's curve, like an old leather catcher's mitt. That day after the burial, huddled on a hill, my daddy read her will, then and there. Now my Jubbo, she didn't have a lot, but what she had is what we got. And she bequeathed me her genuine patent leather pocketbook, a black bag that dangled off her wrist for years, like a growth, a bunion or something. You'd have thought she was hauling state secrets or some other family's fortune, the way she policed that purse. Sit it down, Mama. Might as well have been kiss my ass. And that woman's mine. Well, lumbering back to the car, I didn't get far before I knelt down in the Johnson grass and exposed her Tennessee tote sack to daylight. Go on and look those chiclets that spilled when I clicked open the clasp. A vial of pills rolled out in the grass, some butter rum lifesavers, and a narrow tooth comb, chapstick, shed keys, an old birthday card she'd gotten from me, some wadded up Kleenex, and a half a stick of double mint gum. But what I really wanted was that rubber change purse. It's now on the floorboard of the hearse. It was red with a slit down the middle. She'd pinch it open, take her pointer and thumb, then press the coins down into my palm at offering time when they passed the plated church. But it was there in the side zip pocket where she found a secret. She thought she'd buried. It was an old love letter from a farmhand, Howard McDaniel. I love you too, scrawled in the margin of the yellowed note. Her purse gaped open there in the grass, contents exposed. Y'all, I felt like I had stolen that woman's clothes. This woman who swore she was never naked before her own husband.
Thank you so much, Minton Sparks. You forget how words can move you sometimes, how they can transport. It was a great show tonight. What do you think? Good? Thumbs up from the Pennsylvania guy? Guys, that's it. I want to thank all the guests here. There's some folks. We've got some music if you want to check it out. Andrea and Mud and Alex have stuff there. Bakery's got some flyers if you want to learn more about them. Otherwise, if you enjoyed the show, please tell your friends. Tell 2 of them. Tell 3 of them. And we're looking to do another show in June. So everybody, hug someone, be a good neighbor, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.